costuming, cameras, angles, music, and special effects all transform the world of Harry Potter into the fantastic. British films rely less on special effects and on sets than those created in the United States. So instead, they often seek out actual places in Great Britain in order to do their filming, such as Alnwick Castle, where the courtyards and archways are often seen in Harry Potter. Or, as we had been talking earlier, King's Cross Railway Station. These real-life settings that are incorporated into the world of the fantastic. But although the railway, which is this sort of liminal space, this gateway between the fantastic and the real world, is really the everyday world for the UK viewer. Alnwick Castle is a little further removed from reality. Although it's something that UK viewer would be familiar with. I mean, there are castles all over Great Britain. They're even in the very heart of London. So the child viewer is aware of them, but they're still kind of separated from our reality. We don't live in these castles. We don't go to work in these castles. And they are related to a time when the magic was still possibly plausible. And so as we are getting into the actual world of the fantastic, the architecture, the setting is getting a little more distant from our lived daily lives in the settings that they're choosing. And within those settings, they are then inserting both props and special effects, like the sorting hat. So the sorting hat is both a prop and a special effect, a computer-generated image, CGI, that is incorporated into Harry Potter. And in fact, that's one of the more seamless moments where the hat is both real and computer-generated and used to create this moment of the fantastic, where the setting itself then becomes a gateway into the magical because of the way an object that doesn't exist in our world, is inserted into it. So look at these different props from Harry Potter, especially the sorting hat, and ironically, these props, which are not part of our daily life, which are made to make a scene fantastic, have now, through things like Amazon, become a part of our daily life. This is a picture of a sorting hat that you can buy on Amazon, thus further blurring this line between the fantastic and the real through this film, and I think demonstrating that desire to keep crossing that boundary. Another way that the boundary is created is, of course, costuming. The costumes here, from the hair to the texture of the robes to the way that these things sort of lay on the characters, makes these actors into fantastic people. It recreates them just in what they're wearing. But once again, almost ironically, if you type in Harry Potter costume to a Google search bar, the first 24 things that pop up are Harry Potter costumes that we, the viewer, can buy and own and wear. And I would like to point out the first set of them were all for adults. This costuming, just as it makes the movie fantastic, is a way that we are able to recreate the movie in our lives, thus perhaps challenging the fantastic and trying to recreate that, relive that ourselves. And finally, camera angle. Camera angle disorients the viewer in the scene, even before the students begin to learn to fly in this flying lesson video. Camera pans over the shoulder of the statue and sort of soars down very dramatically to the students on the ground as a bit of visual foreshadowing. And notice the music that's playing during this panning. It's the theme song. The Harry Potter theme song plays as they're panning down, cuts out, and then begins again anytime a student is up on a broom in the air. How does music, along with camera angle, allow the viewer not only to sort of be a part of the flying, but to know that the flying that they're experiencing visually through the eye of the camera is magical? For your activity 6, I want you now to engage in recreating Harry Potter. I'm going to do it too. Create a scene or a costume from Harry Potter with things available in your house or your dorm. Totally with things that you have with you. Post it on the discussion board. So you could be making, I don't know, like a Hogwarts out of graham crackers and a milk carton, kind of like a, scary gingerbread house. Or you could be, putting on your robe and making yourself a little paper hat, becoming a wizard like that. Tap into that 9 to 12-year-old child who'd be watching the films. And then think about, what does the physical relationship to the fantastic do for you, the child viewer? How does crossing over physically into this world of the fantastic, recreating it with objects not only that we see on a screen, but that we then bring into our own reality and we touch and we hold, the way, all films produce a plethora of objects and memorabilia. How does that relate to our experience of the fantastic? Does it in some ways reduce the fantastic element in that now it's part of our reality? Or does it enhance it because we're never able to cross that boundary, but we are able to imaginatively place ourselves in it? And in that imaginative recreating, make it more real than any book or any movie could. Think about that. Write that down. I'm going to post mine on Monday when I get to work because, yes, I have my fantastic things at work. That's how cool I am. This activity shouldn't take any more than 20 minutes unless you're making a Hogwarts from graham crackers to entertain your nephews and complete the class assignment together. Then it should take at least 45 minutes to prep and 5 minutes for them to eat all the graham crackers and then get the icing in your hair, not theirs. So that you don't have those details unless you have done this from experience, let me tell you. So go out, experience a little bit of Harry Potter, and then write about that experience and think about how the sort of culture that evolved from a movie is changing or impacting our experience of the fantastic.